Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
At the top tonight, the fight to protect Helotes Creek now has the city of San Antonio's attention. This is a follow-up to our story last night about a wastewater proposal in North Bexar County.
And neighbors worry those plans will put the Trinity and Edwards aquifers at risk. And San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg is listening.
About 200 people turned out for a meeting tonight to fight the proposal. The night team's Patty Santos was there.
I got a call from Mayor Nirenberg today who said he saw your report and he wanted me to announce to the people here that he and the city of San Antonio are very concerned.
More support for Annalisa Peace with the Greater Edwards Aquifer Alliance to protect local drinking water. Neighbors living near Scenic Loop want to find a developer's plan for a wastewater facility. The proposal calls for dumping 1 million gallons of treated wastewater daily into Helotes Creek, just north of Gray Forest. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality is set to vote on a permit for that proposal, but the deadline to contest the permit is Monday.
The property that we live on has been in our family for 125 years.
Helotes Creek runs through their property. All three families want their case heard in a contested hearing. The discharged water would not be drinkable. That has some neighbors concerned about pollution in their water wells.
And it also sets a precedent. So even though it might be impactful to our land this go around, next time it might be another piece of parcel affecting another neighborhood.
Helotes Creek sits on the Trinity Aquifer, but there are concerns that water could also reach the Edwards Aquifer contributing zone. Mayor Ron Nirenberg's office shared this statement with KSAT saying, quote, "The aquifer is our primary source of water, so it remains one of our highest priorities. I share the concerns about the protection of this critical part of the San Antonio watershed and will be seeking solutions to protect it." If the permit is approved, residents want TCEQ to push developers to go above and beyond the normal standards.
These people had 4 options. They took the cheapest options that they could take.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Do you remember this shooting outside of a McDonald's? This is the body cam footage. A judge will decide whether messages from the district attorney's office will affect the case against a former San Antonio police officer. James Brennan's attorneys want the DA's emails and texts with a group called the Wren Collective. Brennan, the officer who shot Eric Cantu outside of McDonald's in 2022. That shooting at the center of several messages obtained by KSAT between the DA, his first assistant, and the founder of the Criminal Justice Group. Justice Reform Group, I should say. Today in court, Brennan's defense team argued the conversations were improper.
That reveals that the district attorney's office was, it appears, taking direction on matters of messaging and possibly actions to be taken in the case.
The prosecutors told the judge that those messages are not relevant to former Officer Brennan's case. Both sides will be back in court 1 month from today. That's when the judge will decide if the messages will be considered when determining a change of venue for Brennan's trial. For more in-depth coverage and a better look at the timeline of the Wren Collective's involvement with the Bexar County DA, just find this story on our website, ksat.com. A teenager arrested at school, now sitting in the Bexar County jail.
San Antonio police say that he's one of 2 teen suspects in a double murder investigation. The other took his own life earlier this week as law enforcement tried to arrest him.
The night team's John Paul Barajas explains how police say they were able to connect the suspects to the murders.
I ain't no murderer. I'm not a murderer.
Not a murderer?
I'm not a murderer.
18-year-old Joshua Castro claims San Antonio police have the wrong guy. But investigators believe he was involved in a double murder on Petrenko Road in December. SAPD says the victims were there to sell the 2 men a gun.
One of the victims gets out of the car, starts negotiating with one of the males, and out of nowhere shots are fired and shots are fired back. So it was a full-on gunfight there.
Through surveillance and investigation, police say they identified one of the suspects as 19-year-old Sebastian Toledo. U.S. Marshals attempted to arrest him for capital murder at his home Monday.
When they try to make entry. They heard one gunshot, so they backed out of the house, and we flew the drone up in the house to clear the house, and we found the suspect upstairs laying on the floor with a gunshot wound, self-inflicted.
SAPD tells us no officers fired their weapons during that incident. However, police say they were able to link Toledo to Castro, who was arrested at Holmes High School without incident today.
We're able to see that Toledo was messaging our suspect today, Joshua Castro, who was cooperating with him to rob the victims.
That was John Paul Barajas reporting. Now, police tell us the suspect's alleged plans to rob the victims is key, because even though there was an exchange of gunfire between the victims and the suspects back in December, SAPD says claiming self-defense would not be justified due to those plans. Castro is being charged with capital murder.
Switching gears now, we want to give you good news. The San Antonio couple that we told you about earlier this week, who was stuck in Mexico City after the woman almost died from tainted alcohol. Yeah, they're back home. Rachel Villarreal and Anthony Grisby left Mexico City this morning. You see Rachel right here. She's sitting in a wheelchair. Now she's being treated at a hospital in San Antonio. She does have a long recovery ahead, but she's happy to be back home. She had been hospitalized in Mexico since January 16th after she unknowingly drank tainted alcohol. Toxicology reports showed that she had methanol poisoning.
Almost 100 officers at the site of what could have been a massive street takeover last weekend. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus says 10 people arrested, 6 cars impounded before it really took shape in a parking lot near Loop 410 and 151 Saturday night. Now, these kinds of crimes have plagued Texas cities for about a year and a half. They pose a serious threat to the public, but thanks to legislation passed last year, San Antonio Police and other Texas agencies seem to be coming down harder on street takeovers now.
House Bill 1442
is now law in the state of Texas.
That enabled us not only to impound vehicles, but to seize them as well for forfeiture.
Like the chief and the governor said, House Bill 1442, now a law making it easier on all law enforcement agencies to crack down on this kind of crime. Passed last legislative session, it allows police to impound or in some cases seize vehicles used in street takeovers. For a larger look at that law and the rest of the bills that were passed in last year's legislative session, you can scan this QR code and see it on your screen right now.
And now let's go to your Nightbeat news flash. After battling heavy snow to find a downed Marines helicopter, rescue crews in Southern California now scrambling to find the 5 Marines that were inside. That chopper went down late last night during a training mission. Officials say that there was no sign of those 5 Marines near that wreckage. Rescue crews, though, have not yet commented on the severity of the wreckage when they found it. The latest Congressional Budget Office outlook is predicting that the federal budget deficit is going to reach $2.6 trillion in 2034. Now, that prediction is based on increasing health care costs, the aging population, and also a spike in interest payments on federal debt because of higher interest rates. And all of those factors would lead to more spending on things like Social Security and Medicare. So that would explain the projected budget deficit. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
All right, San Antonio, you ready to rodeo? We are now less than 24 hours away from the first round of competitions, and we are showing opening night right here on KSAT 12. It'll start tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. After that, we're going to have an hour-long rodeo special starting at 9, and then the Nightbeat will start immediately afterwards at 10. You can tune in on air, online, or on any of our streaming platforms.
Just stay with KSAT all day. Just do that. Now, we have information on transportation, tickets, music acts, and so much more on our website. Just scan that QR code on your screen to find everything that you need to know before you go. Christmas in February. That's probably what the kids over at Christus Children's Hospital in Santa Rosa were thinking earlier today when they got a big surprise. The hospital, along with Gospel Vision Ministries, helped collect and also hand out toys.
We don't know exactly what the patients are going through, but we know when we see them come through these doors and they get their shoes, their tennis shoes, their stuffed animal, and they start smiling and say thank you, that's real grateful for all of us.
It's lovely. Reverend James Robinson said that the purpose of this was to bring joy to the kids at the hospital. All adorable.
A new park is in the works here on the northwest side, but what will it contain? Coming up tonight on the Nightbeat, hear about the first community meeting held by the county commissioner over what the future of this park should be.
They had no idea what they had really purchased.
Everything was in a state of dilapidation.
We did not know what this building was. We thought it was a dance hall.
Well, the history of this Wilson County fixer-upper was a bit more complicated.
If you read that marker, you would have no clue that this was a slave plantation.
And this was this house. So yeah, I got some news for her.
The uncomfortable truths and mysteries of this local mansion are streaming now on these platforms.
Okay, raise your hand if you're looking for work. SeaWorld San Antonio and Aquatica San Antonio are hosting a job fair to hire hundreds of full-time and part-time workers. The job fair is from 3 to 7 p.m. both tomorrow and Friday, and from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. It's happening at the SeaWorld Human Resources Center on Military Drive West. You can also apply to those jobs right now on SeaWorld's website. And good luck.
Tonight in a Know My Neighborhood update, we are hearing from the Alamo Ranch community about what they want out of a new county park. It was the first of 2 public input meetings tonight.
The night team's Avery Everett was there as neighbors weighed in on what they want to see for the first county park in the Northwest region.
We'll make a decision.
A community divided.
We just don't want the activity in our neighborhood.
We need a place for our kids to go.
They need to leave that as a greenway or a green belt, to just let it be.
All over a conversation about a new county park on the northwest side. What will become of this green space is still an empty slate. The county is looking to the community for input. But what we do know about this project is that this land is about 50 acres, and it's also located off Tally Road. We also know that the county budget is set for just under $3 million.
Well, we want this to be a community park and for our community out here to take ownership.
Commissioner Rebecca Clay Flores set up 2 public input meetings to talk about this park. The first one happened Wednesday night. Before the meeting, in an interview with KSAT 12, the commissioner said she had only heard positive feedback.
Personally, I've heard nothing but people who are just really excited.
But just minutes later, this room, full of cheers, came not from support, but rather opposition.
Because it's going to bring trouble.
Neighbors like Tex Amistoy say they don't want a flood of people in this part of town.
People are going to be camping out there. They're going to be sleeping out there. They're going to be doing drugs. They're going to be doing alcohol. They're going to be playing, music real loud and all that. Well, hey, we want it quiet.
But among the wave of frustration were a few supporters calling for the county to build this park for the families.
A lot of the people that are in support, they're not here because they're home with their kids tonight, helping with homework and putting them to bed early.
What people want from this park is complicated, but one message Wednesday night was clear.
If this community doesn't want it, then we're not going to build it.
One of the major concerns from people against the park was that it could increase crime in this community. The commissioner pushed to the new substation for BCSO in this area because of the increase in recent thefts and break-ins. We have a story already on that on KSAT.com. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
All right, now we're going to take a live look outside. 63 degrees right now, but we're going to just move on forward to the weekend where we are expecting some rain. And Adam, that's good because my lawn looks like hay.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the color of hay.
Yeah, and it's that time of year, too, where, the grass isn't going to grow much, even with the rain. We need to warm up into the spring. And this is a good time of year, though, to get that water into the ground and have it there. And then hopefully we can relieve the watering restrictions. But let's take a look at our rain chances. We've been having to tweak these rain chances constantly, and we just increased them earlier today. So rain is likely this weekend, but don't expect a continuous rain or a washout of a weekend. 60% Saturday, 40% chance on Sunday. There will be some intervals between the showers, and some neighborhoods aren't really going to see a whole lot of accumulation. We'll get into that in a moment. I want to talk about the big picture and the overall pattern. Big upper level dip in the flow with embedded disturbances. One moving through Albuquerque right now, another one stirring things up in California and all the shower activity that's not needed anymore in Southern California. Unfortunately, they're getting more rain. They've had a lot of flash flooding this week from the atmospheric river earlier. Well, anyway, this pattern is going to start to shift its energy closer to us by this weekend. That's one of the main reasons why we're increasing the rain chances. We're gaining more confidence in this pattern following through with this dirty flow aloft, with the upper level winds coming off the Pacific and some upper level moisture with it. Could also have a few thunderstorms on Saturday morning. Can't rule that out. Now, in terms of the accumulations, of course, higher amounts where we get a few rumbles of thunder and a few of the thunderstorms. But I do think starting Saturday morning west and northwest of town and then spreading elsewhere throughout the late morning and midday on Saturday, we'll have this scattered activity across south central Texas. Then a break in it Saturday night, and then another round of scattered showers popping up as we get into Sunday. But then we clear out by Sunday afternoon as a dry northwesterly wind kicks in behind a cold front. Rainfall accumulations could be up to an inch in some of the luckiest neighborhoods, but I think that's going to be the exception. We'll have more higher resolution data by this time tomorrow, so check back in for the update. 42 this morning, 71 for our high temperature. Nice big temperature spread. We get that this time of year, but now that the dew points are rising, dew points at 57, our mornings are going to be warmer. The low temperature at night doesn't get below that dew point, so we're going to be close to 60 degrees when we wake up tomorrow morning, and the temperature's pretty much going to equal the dew point. And when that happens, the air is saturated, and especially this time of year when we have longer nights, it usually leads to areas of fog and drizzle. And you see that southeasterly flow coming off the Gulf of Mexico, and you felt that wind today. Well, it's been pushing that moisture in, and that's going to lead to just some drizzly dampness the next couple of mornings. So there could be some delays in the morning commute, maybe a few hiccups here and there from reduced visibility. That'll be the case each morning through Saturday. But then by Sunday and especially Monday, we really sweep away that humidity. Sunday afternoon, we get rid of it. And then Monday, dew points are really low, which means cooler nights as well. Temperature's going to fall off quite a bit more by the mornings next week, so keep the jackets ready. Tomorrow morning, right near 60 and in the upper 50s for most outlying areas. But by the afternoon, little bit of sunshine, making it to 72. That's 70 in Bernie, 72 Stinson, 70 even in Canyon Lake. Similar temperatures through the weekend. It's the wind that's going to pick up with the cold front Sunday and into Monday. That's pushing in the drier and cooler air. So look at this. Jacket weather. First thing Monday morning, 42 degrees and only 61 in the afternoon. I know next week seems far away, especially as a parent, right? But Super Bowl Sunday night, remember to have the jackets or sweatshirts ready to go for the kids early the following morning. And then look at that, even upper 30s later that week in the morning. So winter's still hanging around.
Just a reminder.
Just for a little bit. All right, thank you.
All right, Spurs start the rodeo road trip, and it's kind of a microcosm of their whole year so far, Larry.
Pretty much. This game was good. First, second, third quarters, but man, you got to the fourth and the Heat just showed that they were a better team. That's exactly what Coach Pop said. Wemby did his thing, though, with 18 points and 13 rebounds. And it's National Signing Day, and we have 3 more schools for you coming up.
Honestly, just super grateful. I couldn't have done it without any of them.
Abigail Soto joined 2 of her classmates at Southwest Legacy on National Signing Day in Big Board Sports. All right, the Spurs tipped off the rodeo road trip tonight at the Miami Heat. And for the most part, this was a back-and-forth ball game. First quarter, Wemby passes the ball to Trey Jones, who feeds a cutting Jeremy Sohan for a slam dunk, and the Spurs lead by 1. Closing seconds, Jetty Osman banks in a triple, and the Spurs trail 32-31 after 1. Second quarter now, Spurs are pushing the pace. Blake Wesley feeds Wemby for a slam dunk, but Miami led 53-51 at halftime. Okay, third quarter now, tied at 61. Devin Vassell picks off the pass. He takes it back for a basket and 1. Free throw was good, and the Spurs lead by 4. Late in the quarter, Malachi Branham makes a corner triple, and the Spurs were down 78-77 after 3, and that's when the Heat pulled away. Tyler Hero led all with 24 points, scoring 2 right here. The Heat win the fourth, 38-27 to pull away and win the game, 116-104.
We needed to make shots. We needed to take care of the ball better, and we didn't in the fourth, and that's the difference in the game.
Spurs will play at the Orlando Magic tomorrow night at 6. We continue our National Signing Day coverage at Seguin High School, where this morning 6 student athletes signed their letters of intent to play at the next level. This is always a fun day for the sports department. Kendall Hurt will play softball at Lamar State College. Her teammate Madison Schultz will be on the Diamond at Incarnate Word next year, along with football players John Jackson, Cooper Newman, Jackson Pond, and Donovan Cray, who are all thankful for their families.
They've been a really good support system, and I think that's really good for us, and we're so excited because nobody's played softball like in college in my family, so I'll be the first one, and that's really exciting for us.
I'm very proud, just rep the last name with a stamp, just put on for my family.
It really all goes towards them because they really pushed me to do my best.
I'm one of the first to get to go play college football, and hopefully I can finish it all and come out with a degree. Graduating college would be big for my family, so just making them proud will be a very special moment for me.
Steele High School had 10-plus kids sign their letters of intent, doing it all big and fancy. So we sent KSAT 12 Sports' Nick Mantis out there to chat with the Knights on their big day.
One of the biggest signings in the San Antonio area was right here at Steele High School, as a range of athletes from all these different kinds of sports signed their letters of intent to go play at the next level. One of the questions we wanted to make sure to ask them was, what was the main reason you chose your school?
I was really impressed by the coaches, because that's the biggest thing, just the relationship they had with me and my family. So they were always persistent and just showing love. So I feel like more than any other school, they showed the most interest.
I had 2 offers, 2 Z3 offers where I could play both basketball and soccer, and I definitely thought that was definitely what I wanted because I couldn't do just one without the other.
I'm a family guy, so I want to be able to stay close and see family whenever I need to, and I went, and favorite coaches I met, great facilities, great school in general.
Well, as you can see behind me, we got friends and family taking pictures and enjoying the moment with their loved ones, as most of the athletes that we talked to throughout the entire day said that their families, their friends, their teammates, their support systems is a reason why they're here signing a national letter of intent. From Steele High School, Nick Mantis, KSAT 12 Sports.
Thank you very much, Nick. Southwest Legacy signings coming up after the break. The auditorium at Southwest Legacy High School was packed with students eager to cheer on the Titans' 3 signees. Middle blocker Abigail Soto will play volleyball at Cedar Valley College. Anthony Zapata will join the UIW cross country and track and field programs. And third baseman Anaya Torres will play softball at Ranger College. It never gets old seeing the smiles on the students and their parents' faces, and sometimes some tears, reaping the benefits of their hard work and dedication.
It was honestly a surreal moment. Like I said in my speech, this was a dream come true. I had dreamed of this ever since I was a kid, and to be on that stage and sign that letter, it was just a lot of emotions running through me in that moment.
It means a lot, and I hope it leaves a mark on everyone here, that it makes them want to work harder in life to get where they want and to achieve their goals. But it means a lot, to have a lot of people out here and support me, or I hope it touched their hearts in a way.
All 3 signees hope their successes will encourage their peers to do the same. And we have 2 more high schools to feature tomorrow. That's Madison and Brennan. We got to them today. I just didn't have enough time to get them all in.
You guys were all over the place today.
I love it, too.
Yeah, I do, too. I'm glad that we did this.
And it's an exciting time of year for those kids and their families.
Sure is.
Awesome. We'll be right back. Okay, I had to look down to verify this, but we're exactly 1 week from Valentine's Day. So here's my question. Have you made your reservations yet?
McDonald's? Lots of popular restaurants start to get fully booked around this time, so you don't want to wait too much longer if your plans include dinner.
Yeah, right now on KSAT.com, we have a list of just a few popular spots that are offering Valentine's deals and events. Just look for this article on our website.
And a reminder before you go, tomorrow, the first day of the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. And if you're looking to head out for some of the fun, there are some deals you can score, including discount tickets and even HEB and Whataburger gift cards.
You know what to do with that QR code. Scan it. One of the deals you can snag right now is free tickets to the Rodeo Fairgrounds on opening day. Now you have to all you have to do is become a KSAT Insider, which, by the way, is free for you to do.
We're going to be working next week, and that's why I said McDonald's. I have actually sat in the parking lot with my wife at Whataburger for dinner.
Sure.
Just to hang out and talk, and it's fine.
Well, and it's a McDonald's with a play place, right? So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You don't need reservation.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
Good night.